All right, today we are talking about ways that narcissists try to lure you back in a desperation attempt. And a lot of times, if you've made a pretty strong stance on no contact, and that hasn't been, and that's been working at least fairly well, they will attempt some sort of despair, like a SOS call. And this will be usually where they will create a situation where they're in dire need and they don't have anyone else but you to turn to. And the reason why this is somewhat effective, especially within, I would say, the first 3 to 6 months of the the discard or the no contact, is because during this time, I mean, most of you still have a lot of emotional attachment to that narcissist. You still have a lot of emotional attachment to them, and you're not necessarily gonna have those cold, callous feelings at that point, and would be more likely to break that no contact at that point. Because if, depending on how, what situation and how they're coming to you with it, a lot of you don't have the heart to just sit back and see someone crash and burn, or if they're in a really bad situation, whether it's life or death, whether it's whatever they try to concoct to bring up, they know they're more than likely to get an adequate response, at least breaking the no contact. And you have to understand, when they're reaching out to you for help, when they're sending that SOS out to you, it's there's a reason and a method to all of this stuff. There's It's not just because they want to talk to you. They are feeling you out. They're seeing where you really stand, because they know human nature pretty well, and they know that on average, people get mad. They know what they've been putting you through. They know the back and forths you've had with them. They know all of the letdowns and the knockdown, drag out fights and arguments that y'all done had numerous times. They know all the false, broken promises that they've given you. So they know that at a certain point, when you do go with that no contact, that you've had enough. You've reached a breaking point. And they understand that, because you've never went to this length of not dealing with them to this extreme extent, right? So what they'll do, they'll let you have your space. They'll fall back. They'll stay out the way for a while to allow the other component to kick in, which, the old saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder. Familiarity breeds contempt. So with the absence and the non-presence of them, and you having other things going on, dealing with other things, and they broke the cycle of you and them talking, and after a while, the negative things that they've done start to kind of fade, start to diminish, as their presence is totally wiped out of your memory, or out of you constantly seeing them and having to deal with them. And what happens sometimes, I'm not saying all, but in some cases, the person can begin to minimize a lot of the things that the narcissist was doing at that point, because it's been a while. They haven't seen them. Their curiosity is even getting to them, because a lot of times narcissists will go ghost too. They will go stealth mode as well. They won't allow you to see what they're doing. They want you to be curious as to what's going on. If you don't reach out, if you don't answer to the SOS, they want you to be curious, right? They want you to have that mindset, a worried mind even, to as to what's going on with them, what's going on in their life, how are they faring out, right? So all these things start taking place, and of course that curious mind is powerful. So when the narcissist reaches back out with that SOS at a certain point, you may be like, wow, hadn't heard from them in a while, but they're not coming. They're coming for help, right? It's a powerful move for someone to come when they do pop back up. They're looking for help now. Dire need. They have no one else. They know they did all this stuff to you, and they may even say that. I know I did all this stuff that was bad or whatnot, but I need help or something like that, or or they're trying to fish for some type of help. And the reason, again, that reason is to feel you out, because the moment you entertain any part of it, what's going on, even asking what is going on with them, what does that signify to the narcissist? What does that say to them in that instance? Before we keep going, matter of fact, hit the like button and help support the channel. It really helps. I'd appreciate it. What that does is it lets them know that, if you were so done with me, if you were so over me, you could care less what I'm going through. You wouldn't have an open ear regardless. You would just keep it pushing. You wouldn't even respond. So by the mere responding tells the narcissist in so many ways, you still care. And as long as you still care, they know they have a window of opportunity to get in at some point. They may even back out of it and say, you know what, never mind, I should have never bothered you. I'm sorry, I'll deal with it on my own. But they just wanted to know. Because remember, narcissists don't go direct at people. They go roundabout ways at getting what they want, from information, from favors to whatever it is. They go roundabout ways. They don't never come directly. So that's one of their indirect ways of finding out if you still care. Because if you still care, then you still have some sort of emotional feelings to them. Remember this, y'all. Narcissists remember how deeply committed and emotionally wrapped up and involved that you were into them while you were with them. They remember how you were just head over heels for them. And they don't believe, in their heart of hearts, they don't believe that a person can truly just shut that off from them. And it's not typically humanly natural for someone to just be able to cut it off like they are capable of doing. So because they know this humanistic component to people that doesn't allow them to just shut off an emotion for something they really care for, they know that you still care. It's just finding out to what extent, to what degree. And more so if you've really moved on. And the only way the narcissist typically sees that you move on is if you have if you've replaced them, like how they operate. Did you replace them with someone else? If you replace them with someone else, they're more liable to see that you've moved on. Some may still try or whatnot, but they typically, because that's their game, that's part of their game. So they have to find out. They have to see, where do you stand? Your willingness to help, to assist them, speaks volumes to the narcissist. Says a lot. And that's why they send that distress call out to you. It's nothing. It's not that they need the help. And a lot of times it's fabricated. It could be partially real. It's half truths involved in it. Some of it may be truthful, but a lot of it's not. But they just wanted to run it by you to see what you'll do, what you'll say. If they do and you're totally cold, callous, and ignore them, even if they're saying it's a life and death situation and you can ignore them, they know you're done. See, narcissists don't want to deal with people who are just as cold-hearted and callous as they are. That renders no type of supply for them. In no way. So for the narcissists, they are more so interested in people who are caring, forgiving. That's what they like. They like people who are like that. And so a lot of these tests is to see where you stand in that position. And this is why they will send out a distress call to break your no contact. Because if they can manage to get you to break it the moment they are able to get that verification that you still have some sort of care in your heart for them, they know they got you. Anyway, I'm ending this message there. Make sure to hit the like button on your way out, subscribe, share the videos, book an appointment. Just click the link in the description box and book it's all automated. Book your appointment through the scheduler. And until next time, I'll talk to you soon.